One, two, three. Come on. No. How about this?
Yo, how's it going? Welcome. We're live, and we're going to audit your channels. So is Rob. How's it going, Rob?
Whoa, you dropped me straight in there. Blimey, I was still getting ready. And by the way, what's this? Mikesy, here comes the ad. You just assume that I play an ad every time. Am I that evil? Yes. Let's press the button. No, I'm not going to press the button just yet. I'm not going to just press the button now. But hey, everybody,
Press the button.
let's press some buttons and let's...
I'm just making it
Blimey,
work.
Dan's all business there. Jeez.
Pressing buttons, sliding things over.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Well, yeah. What do you guys think? Should we get started?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Run the ad.
We're on the clock here. Let's get moving.
I know it's coming to me today, but yeah, here's how this works.
Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. If you need a channel audit right now, make sure to check out the vidIQ Coach AI tool that will help you with strategies, ideas, titles, scripts. Link in the description. It's a game changer. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
Excellent. That's how it works. Now, before we get started, I have to open another tab that I forgot to open because I'm doing a great job today. There we go. Everything's ready. Are you guys ready?
I think so. I mean, if this is your first time here, we are usually a lot more friendly and welcoming, but it's the end of a month.
Not today.
Dan's in a rush.
We got to make quota.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. Buy. We don't know what you're going to buy, but buy it.
Buy it. I think. No, we actually do have something really cool to share with you on that front, speaking of ads. But this is one I think you want to pay attention for, but we'll get to that a little bit later. How this works.
As MKBHD unboxes. Oh, I've got to watch that. Oh, exciting.
Yeah, that was a few minutes
Can we just pause this live stream and watch it?
Yeah.
No, that.
No. Yes. So yes, be sure to go watch that at some point. If you've been submitting your channel in the forums below, we're going to be getting to random selections soon. But we always like to choose the first channels who submitted that caught our attention on the forums. And the first non-gaming channel that caught our attention today was Aprily. Concert tickets, merch guides. They focus specifically, I think, on BTS, but maybe some other stuff too. I thought this was a really interesting channel. They're giving advice on how to get concert tickets and things like that. So if you're new here, this is pretty much how it works. We find a channel and we start to dissect it and give tips and tricks on how maybe this specific channel can improve and how hopefully all of you can improve. We're not going to get to all of your channels today, unfortunately, but here we are looking at Aprily. So who would like to kick us off? I think Rob would.
Yeah, I'll kick us off. And also, I just want to mention that we are 5 subscribers away.
Wow.
1,761,000. So who's going to push us over the line and make it happen? Anyway, Dan.
You won't get a prize, but we'll talk about it a little bit.
No prizes whatsoever. So as you say, Dan, I think this is a really cool, interesting idea. Yeah, similar to when we have channels that recycle stuff on.
real thing. So that's a very niche way of getting into giving people advice for doing certain things. But I think there's going to be a bit of seasonality, and also it's really going to be dependent on them going on tour. So that's that could be a bit of a problem with like getting views during kind of the down season. So, but I mean, otherwise, I think it's kind of cool, and I think it's cool that they're using the emoji to do their videos. I've seen that before. I had a here. Expanding further into
if the value proposition of a channel, concert tickets and merch. It isn't opportunity, at least thumbnail wise. Just Rob. This
Rob
could
gets
get
help
boring.
today.
This could get boring.
Like this video here, where you're not talking specifically about BTS, it's mostly like about buying tickets. Like when you cover these larger topics, you have these outlier moments on your channel. Like why on getting the tickets?
Please continue, Dan.
You can capitalize on. So, I mean, yeah, obviously Swifties is one of us. And I strongly doubt that they only like BTS. It's entirely possible. I have many that are very sworn. I'm not one of those people. But there's a way that they can start addressing more than just narrowing it down. Like, hey, if you're a BTS Army person, hey, here's how you save. How about if you're looking to go to your next concert, here's how you can save some money, going through Ticketmaster or StubHub or whoever. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think you're right. I think expanding it a little bit further to make it more consumable to a general audience makes a lot of sense.
It begs the question, can you grow a YouTube channel just by covering bands or expand it to get more Okay, well, we will move on. The first, because I asked that question to AI Rob. And AI Rob is really helpful.
Oh, sorry, interrupted there. Don't focusing on actual open umbrella. Also, just to remind everyone, you can stuff, and it's a little upsetting. I mean, they were, well, you know, they've seen better times. Anyway, hey, Rob. Thanks myself.
There you go.
Sage words.
I do hope that was helpful for everyone. We'll move on to the first gaming channel that caught our attention on the gaming forum, and that was Crosshair. You know what's really cool about Crosshair is that before the stream started, I noticed a message. They just got monetized like 2 hours after it went live. Sweet. Congrats! And now we're going to... That's not why I happen to know your name after me. Okay. And what jumped out at me was a you the holiday series of something. Yeah. But it is... And I've been an advocate for a while now for doing these types of things where you kind of do like hopefully the plan is chronicling the entire thing. You take all these videos and compile them a bit better in terms of views on this series. Because the thumbnail is great, I think, for the final video where you compile everything together. 7, 8, 9, 10. Those should be someone just talk about saying that this can just turn out. Like, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? Did you try different tactics? Did something go horribly wrong? Did you get your first win? Popular changing other than the data. Because you have to 0-1. You're posting that your kill to death ratio never changes, which is interesting. And there's, you know, this tease of like you getting a 9.99 kill to death ratio by day 30, but that hasn't happened yet. Like, so you're kind of, I think you're kind of wasting this opportunity with the split screen thumbnail. That's the thing that jumped out at me immediately, because I do think stuff like this can work, but this is the execution, especially in the packaging, is where I'm a bit.
I can't really go anywhere else than other than thumbnails are so that there. You may in both the tag and the thumbnail. These are not live, these are filmed and then edited and then put together. So the creator knows what the story of the video is, and that should emphasize some in the video. Classic cases go down to a bottom. That's what's relatively average for the starting to slowly decline. There's one or two outliers, but you would hope that the view counts would be remaining stable, perhaps even increasing. And then Dan, it is all leading up to that big final day epic that they'll release after all of these are complete, right? Maybe a few weeks, month afterwards.
One would assume. And I think if you're not going to explain this in the title, which I think is fine, you can use the same title, but you definitely need the thumbnail at least to tell a different story every day, at the very least. And I say that because of channels like Ryan Trahan, where he replicated the Penny series title, but changed the thumbnail to tell a different story, you know? And so you can do this. The other thing I was going to say is that solo quads resurgence sounds like just a game mode in the game. I don't play the game, so I could be wrong. But I would hope, or I would expect that this challenge is going to be something that's a little more than just the fact that you're playing for 30 days. I think it needs another twist to it in order for like that maximum view potential. I'm not saying this is bad and it's not worth doing, because I mean the first episode getting 1.4K views is great, but the next time you attempt something like this, think about how can I crank it up a notch? What if you played for 30 days with only melee? No guns. You know what I mean? Like something simple like that everyone who plays the game understands immediately. And then is like this 30-day series or a week-long series, whatever, where you're chronicling how it all went. When I see views going down like this, that I feel like is to be expected. Like, yes, the first episode, people should be going back and watching that. It should have more views, but these should have a lot more views, I think. Especially after 2 weeks, 1.4K views, and then... So I would expect the earlier episodes to have more views, but I would expect that to continue throughout all the videos. Like now they're all gradually going up. And I don't know if that's happening. Like if we just, let's pick on just this one here. And then if we let our tool load here, we can see our tool's changed a little bit, which I like. I just have to figure out exactly where all the things are. There's a graph. Where's the graph, Rob?
I don't think it would display on this video.
Okay.
Because it's not.
Right. Analytics and just check out, is it still getting views today? Because if it's not, if these middle episodes are not getting views, that's a good sign that people aren't carrying through the series. And you definitely want them to do that. I would recommend taking the time on the thumbnails. If you're not willing to change all of these thumbnails, just do it for your next one. Put the day 14 in like the corner, so it's not like super big or anything, and put something in that thumbnail that tells a bit more of a story about what happened in that episode.
The series is missing a why. Like,
yeah.
This is a what? I'm playing this thing in this game for this period of time, and my question as a viewer is, why should I care? Are there stakes to this, or is there a reward at the end of this? And we don't know at this point.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things there. Had I been, coaching this particular creator myself, it would have been. Oh, I completely agree with you guys. I would have been like, all right, how do we take this a step further than just playing 30 days? Because what's going to stop the next, 50 other creators from doing the same thing? Who are going to play the game for the next 30 days anyway, right? So we want to make sure, is it a specific game mode? Are you going to do different game modes every day? Are you going to handicap yourself in some way every single day that's different from the previous day? And on top of that, I wouldn't let thumbnail wallpaper and title wallpaper fly like this. So there's a packaging issue first, and then firstly, there's an issue of making the challenge more of a why, giving it more of a reason for somebody to click, and then you have the same title and the same thumbnail, essentially, with the exception of a number change. And that's just not enough. You have to take it a step further to get people to want to click, and it's evident in the views that are coming in for this. So we don't know what we don't know as a younger creator or a newer creator sometimes. But yeah, we just got to take it a step further. So we're not trying to come down on you, Crosshair. We just want to make sure that even moving forward in the series, you could still take it up a notch and actually do this a little bit better if you choose to. But that's you get some pretty solid advice here so far from Dan and Rob.
I would like to consider
which we'll obviously talk about a little bit now with our indulgent corner, which is what video game have you been playing? Do let us know in the comments. I'd love to ask Jeff and Dan what they're currently playing. And I think, Dan, there's only one game occupying your time, which is, along with apparently 99.9% of other gamers right now, Pal World.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Have you tried it yet?
I have not tried it. Oh. You know me, I will wait 18 months to try any game due to cost and just such a back catalogue that I need to catch up on.
Well, it's not like a full price, AAA, but all right, yeah, that's how you follow a trend, I suppose. It's one way to do it.
Indeed, that's why I'm not knowledgeable about gaming.
Jeff?
What did I jump back into? I started playing Starfield again. So just jumped back in. Yeah, so just been playing that. So nothing too wild. Something to help me take my mind off of stuff.
I don't know if this is a game or like IRL paycheck roulette that Oso Inari is playing. Resident Evil 2 Original, Brawlhalla. I am still working my way through Guardians of the Galaxy. On the final couple of chapters now, still really enjoying it as a interactive movie. And now that I have a Quest 3, I'm just trying to get back into Quest gaming. So if anybody's English and like cricket, IB Cricket is one of the greatest games of all time, but it's for a very select niche audience. And Asgard's Wrath, that is kind of like the new showcase on the Quest 3. And yeah, that's good. I'm enjoying that. So that's what I've been playing.
Cool. Hey, AI Rob, take a little break. What game are you playing right now? What video game? All right, we'll hear from him. I do want to do some super chats as well. Now, we do take your super chats throughout the live stream. They will not get you any kind of channel review, but if we have time, we will certainly try and answer your questions. But we need to get AI Rob in on the gaming corner here. We can't just leave him out. That's not fair. So here he comes. He's going to tell us what game he's been playing.
But he's muted.
Oh.
Aren't the key to YouTube success? Subscribers are. And instead of playing a game, try spending more time knowingly mixing stripes and polka dots in your clothes while recording. The mismatch, despite going against fashion logic, it attracts.
Your phone can get hacked easily.
Here's a scary thought. If you don't like this advice, you could unsubscribe. They're scuffed again. It's terribly upsetting. Anyway, next question.
Okay.
What a guy.
That poor guy. He's going through some stuff.
He's the epitome of self-sabotage.
Version 0003, remember?
Yeah.
This is the worst it's going to be. Right? It can only get better.
All right. Our first super chat goes for D9, who says, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you, D9. Appreciate it. Gaming with Debbie for 6 months now has been a member. So thank you.
Oh, that means to get sound effects, right? There we thank you. Thank you. Jeff, just play it again. New members, existing members get a sound effect every single week. And for Jeff, it is...
Hold up. That. Life with Solution England. Thank you. Appreciate the super there. Cash Piece. Saying that right? Our video reviews coming back this year. I'm not going to say no. We kind of throw them into this stream sometimes. Like, we'll see a video like, oh, let's check it out. I don't know if it'll be a separate stream or not. You know, sometimes we just test stuff and it goes away and it comes back. And yeah, I think that's the most fair answer I can give there. Old Man Gib, how's it going? Hey, Dan. Why did I get a visit from the Furries in Black after Googling your channel? Cool. That must be AI Rob. You must be confused. I think you Googled AI Rob's channel, and I'll ask him about that. In fact, I'm not going to because I don't know what the heck it's going to say if I do.
Was it AI Dan?
It could have been AI Dan. I don't know. So maybe someone's made AI Dan. Nick Hine is back. Is it true that in the description links to other... Is it true that in the description links to another video, another of your videos will work better for growth as it keeps viewers?
You want to make sure that you're linking in this. You want to link the same video in multiple places, like a pinned comment, same link. Your description, same link. Your end screen, same link. A card, same link. So that you have 4 places that are taking people from your current video to another one of your videos. That can help. That's a good question for you guys.
There's no reason not to.
What's the question? Would you consider revisiting some analytics videos? Oh, right. Us remaking some analytics videos. Yeah.
2024 versions of some of the older videos on the channel.
So, Dan, we did do a conversation like about 8 months ago where we just had like a free-form chat, like which is the most important analytic on YouTube. And I think we agreed on impressions. So I can't remember what video that's called, because obviously we don't make anything for search these days because we've done something fairly recently. We kind of just... The problem is, this is one of these packaging questions. Like, if you package a video like what are the most important analytics on YouTube, nobody watches it. But if you package a video along the lines of small channels need to pay attention to this, and you include some analytics along with some other strategy, then it becomes a more enticing video to watch. But just raw analytics videos are, as you say, it's kind of a bit of a niche area, and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. BTS is in the military, so it may be hard for them. Army here.
I was going to check with that. Yeah, isn't one of them doing the South African, right?
It's like mandatory that. I thought it was like all of them, wasn't it? Or I guess it's a certain age. Depends.
I don't know. That's outside of my purview. But if Kathy says that's the case, then that's the case.
They're doing an Elvis.
Could be.
Design burst.
Your phone can get hacked easily.
If you're new, focus on search-based content. What do you think about this for noobs? How important is SEO? Is it fine to accept SEO service offers?
I would say, firstly, SEO service offers 99.9% of the time are complete freaking scams. So just being real, that's really what that is. If you're new and focused on search-based content, I mean, yeah, you can do that depending on what kind of content you're making. More than anything else, I wouldn't be worried about search-based content so much as figuring out, one, what are your goals for the channel? And you have to be honest with yourself. Are you trying to go full-time? Are you trying to make money? Or are you just trying to grow a channel and find a community, build a community? Figure that out, and then figure out exactly who you're talking to. Who is your target audience? Who is that exact person that you're trying to reach, and then make every single video for them. That's what I would be doing if I could go back and start over. That's exactly how I would approach it. So I wouldn't worry about so much about SEO. I wouldn't be so much worried about that stuff. All the minutia, I wouldn't worry about that. Worry about who you're making videos for and how you can reach that person. That's the thing you should be worried about.
What I would add, and not to disagree with Jeff, but I remember Todd saying that when YouTube doesn't have much information about you and your videos, it does rely a little bit more on metadata. But we're not talking about video tags here. What we're talking about is titles and possibly bits and pieces in the description. And I generally find that a channel's first success tends to be something in search, just because, again, it's easier to find with viewer intent. But once you have that little bit of success, you want to drive them onto browse and suggested as quickly as possible. I would say irrespective of what type of channel you are, whether you are a utility how-to based channel, the real riches are from the 70% of views coming from recommended on YouTube.
Yep. Yes, sir.
Bizarro Lyrics. Hey, gents, all of the subs on my channel, of all the subs on my channel, only one is visible. Who are those others? Bots? Spies? Poltergeists?
No, it's just people who don't leave their subscriptions public. That's all.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, correct.
Yancey Main, if I'm saying that correctly. How will you know if I've been banned from monetization?
Well, it depends if you're already in the YouTube Partner Program. If you're already in the YouTube Partner Program, you'll be emailed to say that you have been removed from the YouTube Partner Program. And if you apply for the YouTube Partner Program, they should tell you why. So you should always know why you've been rejected or removed, not necessarily banned. I think if you're getting banned from monetization, then you've probably got bigger problems of being maybe community guideline strikes and being terminated from YouTube entirely.
Yep.
Last question here before we go back to looking at some channels. We'll come back to your questions. It's from Nick Hine again. After your audit, my channel is doing great. What's the magic? I didn't change much. It's just flourishing. How did you guys do it? Well, I'm just going to be corny and say I think the magic was within, because what happened was you watched the stream, you internalized some of it, your subconscious chewed on it after you went to bed that night. You woke up and you started changing a little bit of things just here and there. Maybe it's just the way you're telling stories. Maybe these stories were always going to do good. You know, it's difficult to know, obviously, but you could just be really someone who takes in information and manages to execute really well.
From what I remember, Dan, I think they'd already kind of nailed the format, and like we were just spreading the love about the channel and not really giving them too many big suggestions. It was more pointers. So I think, Nick, you were already on the right track. I'll play the recorded Titanic music then as like a sharing a live.
Shut
Here
up.
it goes. Nick, it's beautiful, man. Those science fiction stories you're putting together. Incredible.
Okay.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay. Well, that was a great super chat to end that section on. Let's go back to channels.
Let's.
So we have some channels here. I picked this one. It's the Craft Cave. Excuse me. I thought this channel was so interesting because they said their specific niche on YouTube was teaching like terrain building or something like that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So it's literally like miniature like terrain pieces that they teach people how to make. And some of it looks really incredible. All of it looks really incredible. I couldn't do this.
Is this for like Warhammer or something like that?
I was thinking Warhammer or like World War II dioramas and that type of thing.
Interesting.
Cool.
Doesn't say Warhammer anywhere, and it wasn't a gaming channel or anything.
No, but it could be used for it. Like, if ever you walk past one of the Warhammer or Games Workshops, you'll see all of the coolly painted models, but then like ruins and wrecks and bridges, and this is the type of stuff that would suit any of those models.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to talk about it because immediately one piece of advice jumped out in my head just right away when I saw this. And that was that I feel like maybe you need to broaden a little bit in terms of scope and niche, because you are catering to, I believe, in a lot of these videos, a very small audience. But there's a lot of people who probably want to just see something cool, right? Maybe they don't want to make this for themselves, but they're like, that looks awesome, and they're going to watch. And a great example of this is Modular Castle Ruins Scatter Terrain. I ruined this castle. It looks cool. It got over 1,000 views. And I feel like just from the title and thumbnail alone, anyone could watch this, and they're not coming at it from a tutorial kind of mindset. Oh, how do I make that? It's more of like a, oh, wow, this person makes really intricate things. That's my first bit of advice right there. I think what they're doing is incredible, and I feel like they don't need to limit themselves to, I'm just going to teach people how to do this, and that's it. Should we look at one for a minute? Sure.
Hey, I'm Joey, and I'm one of the 30 AI voices from SpeechNet. You listen to this video.
We're looking for an awesome and epic way to breathe life.
Ooh, they got one of those
really consider.
electronic, what are they called? Lazy Susans. I know that's a really strange name, but
I've had this
spinning
pack
table.
lines for a little while now, and I've been wanting to do a forge build for just as long. So the first thing I did was just take out that plastic mold and test it. And the nice thing about these is it has kind of an orange.
You know what's really cool as well about this is really well lit, because often these types of videos are just poorly lit, and they've decided to film it, edit it, and then do a voiceover narration, it feels like. So it's cutting out all of the chaff and just telling you exactly what you need to know to get the idea of what they're building.
Yeah, it's really, truly excellent work. Very intricate. I think it's really fun to see it come together. I would love to see you, like, with intent, like, make a video that's, like, not specifically focused on an audience who is building this for themselves, although they would get something out of it still. But when you say things like, oh, you can try this for your build, I would reframe it a little bit. Like, talk about how you made this epic thing. Talk about how long it took you. Show a picture that kind of gives people an idea of the scope and the scale of the project. And just, I would love to see you try one video where you kind of reframe the sub, like you all you're doing is shifting the audience, and it's in the way you title the video, it's in the way you talk during the video. It's like, my audience is no longer just people who build, it's people who find this interesting. And that one shift in mindset could open up a lot of doors in terms of, like, new people coming in to watch the videos.
Yeah, similar to the way that you see woodworking content go viral on YouTube, because the way that they package and speak in the video is not meant just for woodworkers. They're addressing anyone who finds watching a piece of wood being turned into something else satisfying. And that's where they get the massive amount of views from via browse, as opposed to people who are specifically searching how to build, a birdhouse or something like that.
Two things I want to point out. Dana, could you just go back to that video? You were trying to show something from our tool in a previous video, and it wasn't working just because it wasn't tracking, but that's how you can see how this video is performing better than expectation on the channel. And so that was one thing just to highlight. But then go back to the channel.
It's worth pointing out, this is channel-based, too. This is an outlier for this channel.
Yeah, correct. A critique of the thumbnails would be, and this is coming from a conversation I've recently had with April Lynn. If you haven't seen April Lynn yet, just check out her channel. She does incredible videos, like epic videos on intros and thumbnails. She talks about, like, the main character of a thumbnail, and that doesn't mean a person. It's talking about the elements. And if I was to ask you what are the main characters of these thumbnails, for me it's the text. And I think that text is just a little too overpowering for these thumbnails. I want the actual model to be the main character. You can still have text in there. It just means that it shouldn't be drawing my eye, and like my eye is just stuck on simple LED forge as opposed to the forge itself. And maybe if you'd added some, artificial glow to the light on there just to give it a bit more presence and standing. That's the thumbnails. Don't get me wrong, they're generally fine. They're in a good place already with the thumbnails, but I think the text is just a little too dominant.
Yeah. I don't love the blur, because I feel like this would be better suited for the scenery that it's actually meant for, like the forge in, like, a proper build of some kind. And you could cut it out still, but I wouldn't blur this heavy if that's the case. I think it might give people a better idea of the scope if you avoided that. The little bridge is a good example where it's just like a split screen and it's not overly blurred. This one's the well is a good example as well because it's like sitting on the right side and you can tell it's on some grass and there's some trees and stuff, but it's not heavily like blurred out. So sometimes you could put like a little outline around the thing just to give it that pop that it needs, but I just think part of this, the coolness of this is like the scale. If you can capture that scale somehow in the picture, I think that helps a lot.
Can we do a quick search for? You see, I'm not sure what the search term would be here. It's something like how to build scenery for Warhammer 40k or something. Maybe just Warhammer 40k scenery. I'm not sure if it's going to pick it up properly. DIY scenery. I'm just wondering if is it worth actually because the first thing that came to my mind in my head was Warhammer, and then Jeff said it out loud, and I thought, maybe we've just had a conversation about SEO. Is just including that. Maybe it's an experiment. They have a series where they're building terrain, especially for Warhammer fans. Even if they're not interested in it themselves, they can. Because as you said, all of the stuff on that channel can be used in Warhammer, and they can just include that in their pitch. I know that might mean that they're going down perhaps the wrong audience route. It's just a thought.
Yeah. There's a lot of good examples of the scale I was talking about, especially this thumbnail here, where you have the build and you have a hand pointing to just kind of give it that sense of like, oh, I see. It's a really intricate, small build. This one's really good too, with the wall broken and the person's face back there.
Yeah.
Really good thumbnails here. So this is a good example too of any time you're thinking like, oh, I need like a good thumbnail for this video. It's difficult to do, but try looking a bit outside your niche, just a bit. Because this person who we were just looking at wasn't making Warhammer builds, and yet this is like the perfect category of YouTube for them to be searching for, to get a sense of like how could they do their thumbnails and level them up a little bit.
Yep, agreed.
So that was the cave craft, or the craft cave. I don't know why I'm saying the cave craft. And thank you for submitting your channel. The next channel on the list, Rob.
Getting way more views and subscribers, so that's already very encouraging with the outliers. And it's an interesting topic of conversation in terms of the thumbnails themselves. I don't know, would you call these exciting, interesting? I'm not sure, but would you call them consistent and well branded? Yes.
Yeah.
And again, the titles, we see this concept of including a pipe, which automatically means I'm going to write 2 different titles in my title.
Mm-hmm. And
mountain biking, sand, oats seems to be. But anything with a pipe, just like and again, you recommend that. And I seem to have nailed what video length they want as well. It's almost as if I need to kind of just watch the first 10 to 15 seconds to get a further idea of what's going on here, because it says uncut runs as well, so like how much editing is going into this.
If you're a business owner, then animated explainer videos are the best way to capture attention, get more followers, and drive more sales.
Alright, so coming next, I've got a bit of a tease.
I don't know what's going to be good. Get a sense.
Yeah.
A good. So loud. Like they're behind us.
Yeah.
what I'll say before we do. You have like 2 or 3 intros on this video. You have a very, very long coming up next, which I don't think is necessary for this kind of content, but I could be wrong. And then you have the intro where you have to like the point where the thumbnail is and you have your branded logo on there. And then the intro's still going, like the chapter still goes until we finally hit the first actual chapter. So I would say this is like this is a minute long intro. And I don't know if that's necessary. If I would do a video review right now, that would be my one thing. Wait. Well, like, you like that? Yeah. Good. I'm not bad. Enjoy the view. Ooh.
Oh,
Wait a minute.
ha? Wait muna, tapusin mo muna to.
Okay.
So it's just the raw footage from it, from the video.
Yeah.
So like I said, there's some rule breaking going on here, I think, with the content, but there's success. So I don't want to necessarily tell them to stop doing anything that they're doing.
I don't either. I can imagine a more vloggy style of these videos, but that doesn't seem like their vibe. I can certainly imagine the vlog of like starting in the morning, getting your bike loaded up. You have the camera, you're holding it, you're talking about where you're going. You get some B-roll of you driving to the place. Like, you know, it's about like I went over steps. However, anything we would change, I do think those intros could be shortened a little bit to help. You mentioned the pipe. Might not necessarily need to try a video where you don't have to. So you can always add it back if you're feeling like it's underperforming.
Because it's included in the text in the title is supporting that SEO pitch, isn't it? San Juan Hills, Santiago Oaks, Sycamore Canyon.
Feels like there's a way that they can include that in the title and just make it one coherent sentence instead of 2 split. So, because there's one that's could you trust your traction on this steep terrain? That one. Trying to write something that appeals to SEO.
Question 2. Already, most of and thinking about trying to put a better, intriguing story in the title. Because I know they're probably limited to about, well, I know the bit after the pipe is about 30 characters, so that means I've only got maybe like 40 characters to play with, whereas if you're not worrying about the SEO bit, you've got a bit more room to play with in trying to tell a story. Not that the titles they're not too bad to begin with.
My eyes a little bit. Title version of it's hard to say, but when I see titles, there is something about my brain where I don't want to read them. That could just be a me thing. You guys have heard me read out loud before. You know I don't like it, but there is that going on with me.
Each title is a question as well.
Yeah, that's a cool way to do it. Actually, I think. Would you bail or blast down these SoCal jump trails? It's pretty cool. All right. So those were our pre-selected channels. we're about to get into random selected channels. We have a few
here we go now.
orders of business, first and foremost. I'd mentioned something cool that's happening later today, and I want you guys to all be aware of this. There is a link down below. But if you know anything about YouTuber Eric, you may be excited to know if you are rocking vidIQ Boost or Max right now, that later today, so go and your dashboard in dashboard down below. If you're a Boost user, here it is. And that is where you can find anyway, once you get Boost, go ahead and you go there now. So that's happening pretty soon. After
Is that basically 2 hours from now, Dan?
I think so.
From
Yeah.
right now, if you're watching live.
Yep. So there you go. If you're watching this after the fact, it might be too late. But the session should be up for you after the fact.
And as a follow-up, people who do have Boost now are getting a lot more access to these types of events, and also conversations with industry experts.
Traveling Russell, if you got vidIQ Boost or Max, you can ask that question yourself.
Fudge.
Yep.
So, yes, I just want to point this out, call this out for you. If you don't have vidIQ Boost or Max, it's not too late. You can go sign up at vidIQ.com. And, yeah, go ahead and get in there. That's our pitch. That's it for the ads today. There you go.
And hello to our welcome the new family, the Creator Now family who have joined us here at vidIQ.
Yes, absolutely. Welcome to Creator Now. Very excited to have you with us. So, real quick, let's go ahead and take on some of these random AI topics and
We cannot distinguish whether or not a human has had any input in the video. Does it shadow ban the contents?
I agree with Rob.
We have had a bit of experience with this. John, in kind of when he was making a video for us, he set up a AI channel that was fully AI automated in the sense that it created the video that automatically not even any
Which makes sense for them not to. It's something where and this is why we're approaching it. What I'm trying to realize is I wish you the best of luck. But when you're actually serious, I always want to get away from that. You don't have anything to do that. I'm hoping having to make it work.
Everyone's going to do it.
one person can ask. Do you have a creator with creators to help encourage
Throw it over to us.
But the point I want to make, one of the things is that this is a great way to use AI. Right. This kind of thing works really well. Let's see what AI Robin.
He's very slow today, Dan. Is he?
Sorry, didn't mean to intrude, but the thing here is views. You know, they may seem important, but no. Sub-subscribers are what it's really about. For AI content, I mean, it sounds absolutely crazy,
but try talking to your computer or AI system before you film. Yeah, a little pep talk.
Yeah.
Some
Right.
extra chin.
Like we've
It's
done
strange,
here.
but it's worked before. Yes.
Yeah.
And just to put it out there, you can. Please don't. Sorry to bring it up, but did I tell you about my dog? So decisive, isn't he? Great too. It's really, really got me teetering. Anyway. I think AI Rob needs a confidence AI coach for next week, Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not feeling too good. I did try to give him a pep talk, like you said, and he's gotten maybe like 10% better today. But we'll try and get it figured out. So, AI Engineer Hub, I hope that AI Rob was of any use to you. Silver Space, I've been on GTA 5 online. I'm on my GTA phase. Oh, it's Gaming Corner. Yes.
Okay, cool.
That's our fault. I mean, Mike, e-bikes and pugs. Thank you for the super chat.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to work on that channel name, sir. Like, really, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but when I started reading that, I almost got confused for a second. I'm like, am I having an aneurysm? What is happening here?
No, this is Mike. I don't know what's confusing about that. That's the one.
Yeah,
thing
what the heck? Come on, man. Come on.
Highly recommend AI Coach and the coaching with vidIQ. Thanks to all that Pepina they're complimenting the coach, but I'm reading like like AI Rob.
What is happening here?
I just my brain.
Let's do that again. Let's do it again. Highly recommend the AI Coach and coaching with vidIQ. Thanks to all of that and Pepina, we are rocking.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Jeff is good at reading. Patrick David says, if you have a video that's going well, but your quality, sound, and editing has greatly improved, do you redo it, delete it, or do a different version?
Different version.
Yeah,
Let's just remake it.
Anaholics. As a non-native English speaker, would you recommend a channel in Dutch, my native language, and perhaps later let it be translated by YouTube?
So, this is always a conundrum, isn't it? Whereby most creators feel as if the biggest audience on YouTube is